After hitting the speed bump of the doldrums, the 5 IMOCA yachts competing in the ocean race are now eating up the miles on the race south to Cape Town. Defying conventional wisdom that says west is best for a doldrums crossing, GUYOT Environment Team Europe is holding a slender lead built on sailing less miles since the start via an easterly position compared to the rest of the fleet. Now it's a race to the south. All of the boats are enjoying southeast winds in the 12 to 18 knot range. On the hunt to make up miles is the 5th place Team Malaysia, with sailor Rosalind Kuiper saying she's happy to be back in the trade winds, sailing fast, and looking for opportunities to get back in touch. We're still behind the others. In the doldrums the western side wasn't too favorable. So that was hard, Kuiper said. But at the moment, we have 18 knots of breeze and a true wind angle of about 0.85 degrees, so this is really good conditions for us. But we feel a little bit limited by the foil alarms, so we're trying to find the right mode and make sure we don't damage the foils. It's frustrating because we know there is more potential and speed in the boat. We will keep on pushing. One day can make a big difference in the ocean race. In fact, just a few hours can turn what had been a winning hand into something doubtful. That's been the case for GUYOT Environment Team Europe, who gambled on an easterly lineup for the doldrums and appeared to have made a big gain in the process. But just a couple days after escaping the clutches of the light winds around the equator, the GUYOT Environment team found itself under a tricky, local weather event that has seen them sailing much slower than their opposition for most of Thursday morning UTC. While all of the fleet is slowing from the champagne trade wind conditions of the past 24 hours, none have been impacted more than GUYOT Environment Team Europe, who appear to have run out of luck in the east. We have had to make some big maneuvers in the past hours. We changed the head sail from J0 and J3 to the J2 to sail with it for a few hours, Sebastian Simon reported from on board. We are fighting for every mile, added skipper Robert Stanjek. According to Simon, the problem is the long arm of the St. Helena High, an area of light winds directly between the fleet and Cape Town. The St. Helena High is the reason the fleet is racing south so close to the coast of Brazil, rather than down the African coast or on a more direct, shorter route to Cape Town. The distance the high-pressure system extends out from Africa into the South Atlantic changes constantly. At the moment GUYOT Environment appears to be on the edge of the light patch. Although the tracker, as of 1300 UTC, is still showing a slender lead to Stanjek and his crew, that's based more on their closer distance to Cape Town than the tactical reality of the race, where it appears Team Holcim, as the most southerly positioned boat, is the leading contender. Sailor Tom LaPerche says his team is focused on sailing fast and getting the most out of the conditions. It's good conditions to go fast in an IMOCA. We are reaching wind across the side of the boat. The wind is still good, but it is decreasing a bit now. It is going to keep decreasing and shifting behind us. So we will be more downwind for the next days. It's warm too. Every team in the chasing pack Biotherm, 11th Hour Racing Team and Team Malaysia, is hopeful that as the wind eases and shifts, so too does the advantage to those further west. The next 48 hours will reveal it all. Leg 2 rankings at 1300 UTC, the 2nd of February 2023. 1. GUYOT Environment Team Europe, distance to finish, 2,986.5 miles. 2. Team Holcim, distance to lead, 3.5 miles. 3. Biotherm, distance to lead, 38.3 miles. 4. 11th Hour Racing Team, distance to lead, 80.7 miles. 5. Team Malaysia, distance to lead, 168.1 miles.
So what's your breakfast again?
So I have a coconut granola. It's very nice, and I put a little bit of nuts, chia seeds, honey and cinnamon, and and then a good start of the day. Yummy. Now wait 5 minutes and then it's good to go.
Good morning.
Hello.
Everything is alright, Will?
It's okay. We're going a bit faster, but we've noticed we get a little bit of damage to the starboard foil, which isn't ideal. So we're going to have to be a lot more careful with it, and hopefully it doesn't get any worse, because there's basically no way of repairing it here. And we're going to need this starboard foil to get all the way to Cape Town, so it's very important we look after it. A bit annoying because we're not even pushing the boat super hard at the moment. We're sailing quite conservative because we're worried about the foils already, and we're sailing slower than the others. But yeah, no problems on the boat. So
So you talk to the shore team?
yeah, we're just chatting with them, seeing if there's anything we can do, anything we can inspect to make sure it's not anything worse. But it's good that we can message them and check what they think about it, and can kind of have their opinion on it. So, but just annoying.
Pacific Unity, this is sailing vessel Malaysia, over. Hello sir, we are a sailing vessel, we slow down and we will pass your stern. Clear?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering, man. Okay, thank you, have a good day. Bye.
Ready, Giorgio? Boom!
There you go.
The first one.
Mr. Queen Crossing.
We are flying.
Breakfast time at 3 p.m. and a bit of dark chocolate. Oh, now.
The last sked we're higher and faster, which is generally good. So yeah, we'll take that.
21,3 pour Rio. Il y avait arrivé 45.
So yeah, we're here with the ocean pack, which is on board, constantly running, taking water samples. But every now and then we just got to check that that the data coming off this thing is good. So periodically we're going to take water samples. So we've got a second water sample for this leg, and then this will get sent off to a lab, and they'll be able to check that the instrument's actually reading correctly, just to make sure the data on board is good. So we just got to fill this little bottle up a few times, make sure there's no contamination. Right, so that should be good. A little bit out. Then we've got to take care not to touch the top, because obviously we've got pretty salty hands on board and we don't want to contaminate the sample. But there we go, second water sample of leg 2, Cabo Verde to Cape Town, to go to the lab. So yeah, we carry this this ocean pack here on board 11th Hour Racing, and as I was saying before, it runs 24/7, just taking water samples constantly as we sail around the globe. It's recording some important, interesting data, things like salinity of the sea surface, dissolved CO2, and then obviously the sea surface temperature as we go around, and then all that information can be fed back into a much broader data set, which gives us really important information on the ocean, the climatology, and this data also can be used in things like weather modelling and what have you. So it's actually, you know, for us, we're getting important data for the science community, but we're also sort of helping ourselves by generating better weather information and that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, it's a small job to carry this through for a big benefit. Array of pumps and filters, and in various stages there's various different sensors. So then that can give all the important data on things like the salinity, the temperature, how much CO2 is in the water. You can see there's a big gas bottle on the other side, which is also part of keeping the instrument calibrated. But then that water travels through and then literally passes back out the other side and back into the sea. So it's quite cool when you can go online afterwards and see your data set uploaded. And you see your track of the race course, and then and all that important information along the way. So it's yeah. Clever little thing. 15, and then Latin long, so they know where we were. 9 degrees south. 34 minutes. So now they got this water sample to compare in the lab, and if everything lines up in the lab, we know the data on board is all good. Can go into the wider data set. So yeah, good. A little bit of science on board.